The training and teaching of the different dogmas that the Jedi Order has is a way that the Jedi have been implementing over the years for the training of children sensitive to the Force, which in the future will be the generations of defenders of peace. However, throughout history within the Jedi Order, there have been individuals who have not agreed with the philosophy of the Order, giving rise to the Fallen Jedi, or also known as the Dark Jedi. The First Great Schism in the year 24,500 before Battle of Yavin was the event where the Jedi first heard these terms. On the one hand, a Jedi watches over the light side of the Force, adheres to the Jedi Code, and uses his powerful abilities with discipline and to maintain peace and justice. But there is also the Dark Jedi, where on the other hand this individual had fallen to the attractions and temptations of the dark side of the Force. A Dark Jedi governs his behavior according to his negative emotions such as fear, anger, hatred, and the desire for power, giving way to using his Force powers in a selfish, destructive, and aggressive manner. The Jedi fought the threat of Xandor and his Dark Jedi Legion. However, the Order wouldn't fully understand the reason for this dogmatic break. Coming thousands of years later, in the year 7003 before Battle of Yavin, the Second Great Schism with a consequence worse than the First Schism. The Second Great Schism caused, by the Jedi Order, the exile of the Fallen Jedi. However, this weak strategy on the part of the Order would cause the origin of a worse evil, the discovery of Korriban by these Jedi and the consequent union with the Sith, individuals with a predilection to the dark side. The Jedi, despite their physical advantage and incredible abilities, each of them still maintain innate defects, mistakes characteristic of every living being, such as pride, ego, and the lust for power. These natural characteristics of every individual were the elements that the Order couldn't control, and when the Jedi Masters or the leading factions within the Order became convinced of their own superior perspective, they inadvertently, or ignoring reality, were sowing throughout generations of Jedi seeds of division. It was normal that the great diversity of individuals who for thousands of years were part of the Jedi Order all had their own way of seeing life, their own morality. The Jedi Code and the ancient teachings that support the Order are full of nuances open to multiple interpretations. Over time, perspectives and thoughts arise questioning how literally or flexibly the code should be followed in an evolving galaxy. There is always a clash between fundamental and the progression. The Jedi Order is made up of individuals who by themselves, each of one is a complex universe. The vulnerability of these individuals is therefore the vulnerability of the Order. Although the change may initially have the best intentions, as was the case with the First Great Schism, which began as a desire to evolve the instructed teachings and avoid the stagnation of the Order, the dark side will always be at the command of tempting even the strongest. During the year 4250 before Battle of Yavin, the Jedi Order would once again be the victim of an internal rebellion, the breakdown of its ideology in Third Great Schism. Within the Order, groups of Jedi were tempted by the teachings of the dark side. After the experience of living through two previous schisms, tolerance for this uprising inspired by the dark side was zero. So the Jedi Order didn't hesitate to take their lightsaber and brandish them against their own friends and companions. Once again, they were in front of a new generation of a group of fallen Jedi. The location of the battle between the two factions was Coruscant, the heart of the Republic. Countless lightsabers collided with a searing hiss. What was once a bastion of peace and knowledge like Coruscant was now the epicenter of a war that had brought ruin to the capital world of the galaxy. Brothers and sisters of the Order along with masters and apprentices once again facing each other thanks to different perspectives of the Force. The fallen Jedi, driven by the corruption of the dark side, were willing to do everything to win. However, the experiences of the past had been a good teacher for the Jedi Order. The battle was overwhelming for the fallen Jedi, so the retreat from Coruscant was inevitable. On the Jedi side, the mistakes of the Second Great Schism wouldn't be repeated. The total annihilation of evil was the solution to be found. The Dark Jedi's forced retreat would take them east of Coruscant to the Vultar System. The galaxy has been the scene of countless stories for thousands of years, of which many of these events have been lost, diluting their origin between reality and myths. One of the biggest unknowns are the Celestials. Ancient force-bound entities with untold power and knowledge. It's said that the Celestials, with their immeasurable capabilities, were the ones who created the galactic barrier, which in simple words, is a barrier that completely covers and protects the galaxy through inexplicable events in the form of hyperspace anomalies. Legends connect these two elements, the Celestials and the barrier, thus confirming that the Celestials protected the galaxy from some extragalactic evil through this barrier, an evil that even the Celestials respected. And it was the fallen Jedi who arrived in the Vultar System who encountered enormous and ancient machines that didn't seem to resemble anything they had seen before. Ancient artifacts that legends claim to be the product of these Celestials, one of these machines being the Cosmic Turbine. As mentioned before, the power and capabilities of these Celestials in popular beliefs claim to be something incalculable. And according to, this is demonstrated by the statement that in some parts of the galaxy, the Celestials are known by the name of the Architects. Various scientific studies affirm that the Vultar System, along with other systems such as the Corellia, were built artificially, and these machines could be the proof of that great feat of the Architects to build and even destroy enormous systems at will. Consumed by a burning desire to exact vengeance upon the Jedi Order that had once been their home, the Dark Jedi scoured the galaxy for any advantage that could shift the balance of power in their favor, the Cosmic Turbine being the perfect tool. Undeterred by their limited understanding, the Dark Jedi endeavored to unlock and harness the staggering potential of this machine. But the technologies were like years beyond their grasp. Day by agonizing day, their arrogant efforts to subjugate forces they couldn't begin to comprehend unraveled. Days into their attempt, a catastrophic accident destroyed the machines, the Dark Jedi, and the entire Vultar System, known as the Vultar System Cataclysm. The Cataclysm's shockwave lacerated the fabric of space-time itself, transforming the once vibrant star system into the Vultar Nebula, a psychedelic maelstrom of dust and radiation. This violent event, the Vultar Cataclysm, was witnessed by Jedi Master Shayoto. He watched in horror as cosmic forces unleashed a misunderstood power that devoured the renegades whole, bringing an end to the Third Great Schism. This ending was a reminder of the fragility of arrogance in the face of what a single being, no matter how gifted with the Force, could never control.